All right, everyone, good evening. My name is Shannon, Adee, and you are calling in tonight to our product overview call. I'm honored to host this call tonight, and I'm really excited to share my story and help you guys learn a little bit more about these amazing products that we have to offer. We don't talk business tonight, but I do want to welcome you to call in tomorrow evening, same time, same number, and same access code, where we'll all cover the money aspect of Isagenix, and you guys can learn a little bit more about how to get your products paid for. And then tomorrow's call, it'll be of great interest to you if you're looking for a little bit more income in addition to getting your products paid for. But tonight we're really just going to talk about product. If you're new and you're looking for more information, or you just want to brush up on some info, or even if you're a veteran hoping to hear something new, whatever the reason, you're guaranteed to get some great information tonight. And then at the end of the call, I'm really excited because I've got a surprise guest for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Tonight we're going to really address 3 questions for you. What is Isagenix? Why do we need it? And what does nutritional cleansing do? But first, I'd like to go ahead and share my story with you. Some of you know it, but for those who don't, it's really been an adventurous journey. Again, my name is Shannon Adee, and I come to Isagenix as a former competitive dancer and a 6-time national champion in tap and character dance. Although I was a dancer, I spent much of my time being active. I still struggled with my weight. I always struggled with my weight. And I come from a long line of morbid obesity on both sides of my family. And so despite my high activity level, my weight was still always an issue. I started my first real quote-unquote diet when I was probably around age 11. I attended a family diet center. That's what it was called. And I've literally done everything since then, from Nutrisystem, when there were Nutrisystem clinics, to Weight Watchers online, low carb, calorie restriction, gluten-free, prescription, non-prescription diet pills, which I admittedly eventually abused. And I've even gone as far as starvation. In fact, starvation has really been my diet of choice since high school. When I started on it's now a banned prescription drug, but it was called Fen-Phen, and really ever since then I've just been skipping meals. So I really have done it all. And while I've had a lot of success on many of these programs, none of them were easy, and all of them eventually failed because I found myself right back where I started with even more fat than when I began. So a little less than, I guess, about a year and a half ago, I started to see my old dance friend, Elizabeth, start to post about this nutritional cleanse that she was doing. And she really didn't have much weight to lose. She really just wanted to shed about 10 pounds before her vacation. But I watched her as she released the 10 pounds pretty easily, and then she went on to release 16 more. And at first, I was kind of one of those dream stealers. I'm like, really, do I have to watch all of these fad diet posts cluttering my newsfeed? But as the months went on, I watched her journey, and I started to notice that she was talking about energy through the roof, and she was having better sleep, and her GI issues had improved. Her son, who was now consuming the shakes, was experiencing mental clarity improvements. And so I really started to pay attention. I started to actively follow and watch her story evolve. And as I watched, I saw her neighbors report similar experiences, and so I started doing my own research on the side. And in the meantime, I was trying to eat better. I was trying to do a gluten-free diet, and I was struggling tremendously because I just couldn't afford to buy all of these healthy foods. And I didn't have the creative mind in the kitchen to keep it up. So I ended up ballooning to my absolute highest weight during this period, and I was experiencing debilitating discomfort in my knee, so much so that I couldn't even go up and down the stairs or so much as roll over in my own bed at night. So after doing or attempting a 5K that I failed at, I finally decided to ask Elizabeth some more about this nutritional cleanse program. And so I've got to tell you guys, my only regret, honestly, is that I waited to get my acting gear, because I'm so happy that I finally asked her questions. I started my Isagenix journey on July 18th this past summer, and as of today, I'm so happy to share that on day 144, I have released 51 pounds and 128 inches of toxic fat from my body. That is almost 11 feet of horrible, debilitating, unhealthy fat, you guys. And while Isagenix does not claim to heal or cure any illness or disease, I really do have to stress that. I have to stress that it doesn't claim to heal or cure disease, but by flooding my body with this superfood nutrition and shedding some of this weight, I'm experiencing so much more than just weight loss. My energy is restored. I no longer need afternoon naps to get me through the day. I'm sleeping so soundly that sometimes I swear that I wake up in the same position I fall asleep in. And the discomfort in my knees and my joints is gone. There's no more emergency bathroom trips, no more 2 to 3 Starbucks lattes a day, no more Bluebell ice cream cravings. I've got clearer skin, a happier overall mood, which I'm pretty sure that my family is happy about. And my blood pressure has normalized enough that my doctor has decreased my medication twice. So why is it that Elizabeth and her friends and her neighbors and her family reported such great experiences? Why am I experiencing such wonderful success? Why are thousands across the world reporting the same thing? So let's really talk about that. What is Isagenix? Well, Isagenix is the world's only full-body cellular cleansing, fat-burning, and replenishment system all in one. We are not a diet. Diets actually tend to restrict things like fat, carbs, calories, and sugar, but Isagenix floods your body with the right balance of all of these. We are not a colon cleanse or an organ cleanse, so thankfully you will not live in the bathroom all day long. Isagenix actually cleanses the body on a cellular level instead. So Isagenix is a solutions-based company, and we offer solutions not only for weight loss, but also for energy and performance, anti-aging, and even wealth creation. So now that we know what Isagenix is and is not, why do we need it? Why? So the truth is, guys, we really are in a major health crisis right now. 1 in 2.2 people will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. And that number was just 1 in 12 people in 1950. 1.3 million women will be diagnosed with breast cancer, which is a staggering increase of 30% over the last 25 years. 87% of this country is overweight, and 30% are clinically obese like me. And 1 out of every 3 children are overweight. 1 out of every 3 children. And the numbers are rising rapidly. And it's not just because we're making poor food choices. We are doing that, sure. We're making poor food choices, but that's not the only reason. We're in this health crisis because we're a very toxic country. 95% of Americans are acidic, and we're toxic. Our bodies are unable to function properly in this toxic state. So how do we fix it? How do we take our bodies from an acidic state to an alkaline state where it can thrive? And I believe the answer is nutritional cleansing. With Isagenix, we're addressing 2 issues. We're addressing toxicity and we're addressing deficiency. So I want to talk about toxicity first. We cannot avoid the toxic environment that we're living in. There are really toxins everywhere. They're in the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, the house products that we use, the makeup and the cosmetics we use on our body. They're everywhere. There's even a study that's called the Red Cross study, and that study tested cord blood of infants for 413 toxic chemicals. And of those 413 chemicals tested, they found that 287 of these toxic chemicals were present in the cord blood of these infants. 212 of them had been banned over 30 years ago. 30 years ago. That number is crazy. 212 of them were banned 30 years ago. We quite literally are being born toxic. And so nutritional cleansing helps us rid the body of these toxins by cleansing it on a cellular level. So I said that Isagenix addresses two issues, and I've talked a little bit about toxicity, but I want to talk about deficiency too. So our food source is nutritionally bankrupt. We actually have to eat 8 apples today to get the same nutrient value of 1 apple that we ate in our lunchbox as a child. That's 8 apples today to equal the 1 we ate when we were a child. We just don't have the same amount of nutrients in our crops as we did years ago. Our soils are recycled over and over again. They don't contain the essential nutrients and minerals that we need anymore, and so there's nothing for our plants to uptake. Additionally, we're adding hormones and chemicals to our foods to increase production and profitability. We've introduced GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, into our food source. And artificial sweeteners and dyes, they're abundant. And so you may say, oh, well, I try and eat an organic diet. But did you know that with an organic diet, with organic certified foods, they actually have an allowable legal level of toxicity in them? We have to keep this in mind, guys, when we're eating organic. We are not completely free of the toxins, and our whole foods just do not contain the essential nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that we truly need to live in a balanced and healthy state. So I want to talk a minute about dieting versus nutritional cleansing. If you're on this call and your weight loss goal or your goal is weight loss, you may have once said, oh, well, I want to do this the right way. I want to do it by eating real food. And your way may include restricting calories or carbs or whatever your quote-unquote diet requires. But you have to pay attention to what you're doing and what you're not doing. When we diet, we lose the fat. We get smaller. But how many of us gain it back plus extra? Why does this happen? Well, many of us don't know is that when we diet, we're not cleansing. We're not cleansing the body of the toxins. So when we lose the fat and we do it without cleansing, we're just increasing the concentration level of the toxins in our body. And so what does that do to protect the body? What do we do with this higher concentration of toxins? Well, our body creates more fat to surround those toxins and protect the body. And pretty soon, we've got a whole new toxin shield, otherwise known as a brand spanking new fat suit. We diet, we rebound. We diet, we rebound. And we do this because we're not flushing the toxins. So when we rid the body of excess fat and we flush the toxins, there's no longer a need for the body to produce more fat to protect itself. So our fat loss stays away. It just doesn't come back. So with Isagenix, we have shake days and we have cleanse days. And within those shake and cleanse days, we have 3 key products that I want to quickly tell you about. The first is our Isoline shakes. So on our shake days, we're replacing 2 meals a day. We're doing that with our shakes. There are full meal replacement shakes, perfectly balanced with the right amount of vitamins, nutrients, and minerals your body needs. And they're clinically proven to get your body into an alkaline state within 2 to 3 days. Our shakes are 99.9% lactose-free. They contain live digestive enzymes to aid in the absorption. They are gluten-free, no soy, no artificial sugars, and we use the finest undenatured whey protein from New Zealand grass-fed cows. So you might be asking, well, what does undenatured mean? Well, undenatured means that the whey protein is cold processed. So when cold processing is used, we're keeping the live enzymes and amino acid profiles intact. And this is very different than the protein powders you'll find at the local health food store, where most of those products are often warm processed in denatured whey. And what that means is that we're actually killing the enzymes during that process. So with isoline shakes, we're keeping the live enzymes and the amino acid profiles intact when our body consumes them. So the second key product that I want to talk about is our Cleanse for Life drink. And we do that on our cleanse days. And so on our shake days, we're addressing deficiency by flooding the body with nutrition. But on our cleanse days, we're addressing toxicity. And we do cleanse days 4 days out of the month, and you can choose to do them 2 different ways. You can choose to do 1 cleanse day a week, or for a more aggressive approach, you may choose to do 2 two-day deep cleanses. We call them deep cleanses in the month. And a lot of people think that we're fasting or that we're starving ourselves, but the truth is we're not fasting or starving ourselves at all. The Cleanse for Life drink is a nutrient-dense drink that gives the body all of the necessary amounts of nutrients to function throughout the day, but we're taking digestion out of the picture. We're doing this by eliminating chewing on these days. And then to sort of help in the process, to help regulate our blood sugar and control our hunger pains, we suck on these little flavored wafer snacks, and we get to eat chocolates. I really did say chocolates. We do get to enjoy the most delicious green tea-infused milk or dark chocolates on cleanse days, so it really just doesn't get any better than chocolate on your cleanse days. And as we remove the toxins, we're flushing the toxic fat out. And so the Cleanse for Life drink is really a key component of this program. The third key product that I'd like to talk to you guys about is our Ionic Supreme, which helps to energize our cells, and it helps really helps our body to adapt to any form of stress through specialized adaptogens. It's an herbal tonic drink of sorts that increases energy and speeds up recovery. It relieves stress, and it helps to reduce inflammation in our body. The Ionics can be taken as a 1 to 2 ounce shot, or it can be warmed with 4 to 8 ounces of water and enjoyed as a hot tea or kind of like a cider drink. So really, to tie everything up, these products, guys, they're truly life-changing. The weight loss is just a side effect of a truly health-changing experience. And so I really want to go ahead and move on and introduce my surprise guest for you guys. I know the suspense has been killing you a little bit. But when I started my Isagenix journey, I secretly wanted my husband and my son to eventually give the program a try because they too were overweight and unhealthy. My husband, Scott, he jumped on board fairly quickly, and he really began to see some incredible results from the inside out. But 75 days ago, with much apprehension, my son surrendered, and he decided to give it a try. So with that being said, I am so proud and excited to welcome my 14-year-old son, Zach, to the call. And so Zach is sitting right next to me. Zach, are you ready, buddy?
Yeah, I got this.
All right, so welcome to the call, Zach. What a lot of you guys don't know is that Zach walked in at 8:58 to join this call from school. So, Zach, I'm glad you made it, buddy. So there are a lot of young teens out there going through the same struggle as you. So I really want to take a few minutes to share your story and to talk about how you've incorporated Isagenix into your life and ultimately how you're feeling now that you're a good 75 days are in, okay?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, so first I want you to talk a little bit about your life before Isagenix and what was your body type like, what were your eating habits, were you active, how was your confidence level, etc.?
Okay, so I'm your pretty typical growing boy. I love to eat. I'm always hungry and always snacking and never truly satisfied. But unfortunately, as I matured, I got chunky. I wasn't like most of my friends, and I had a pretty sizable, pudgy tummy, a flabby chest, and I admit I was very self-conscious about this. And kind of like my mom and her dance days, I did exercise a lot. I've been playing baseball ever since I was 5, and I even danced for 6 years as well. But in the last 2 years, I've really stepped up my game also by training 4 to 5 times a week at a sports-specific, high-intensity training facility. But even though I was working hard, playing baseball and dancing and working out really hard all these times a week, I stayed pudgy, and it really messed with my confidence. And I didn't like to be judged at school like this. And I could not stop eating. No matter what I tried, I always went back to food. I could not stop eating. And all I wanted was to eat crap.
True story. All he wanted was to eat and eat junk. When I told you that I wanted to incorporate shakes into your diet, what did you think?
To be honest, I thought you were a little crazy.
And truth be told, you were almost defiant, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to stop eating all the stuff I love, but I especially didn't want my friends to judge me for being on a diet and being different.
Right. So it was really important to you that we work around that fear. And so we had to figure out how to incorporate this program into your life without your friends knowing. So I want you to talk about how we did that.
Well, I needed to have 2 shakes a day, but I didn't want to have a shake for lunch at school for fear that maybe my friends would think I was weird and judge me or whatever. And we all wanted to be able to have dinner together, so we decided to have my shakes for breakfast and afternoon snack when I get home from school. Then for lunch, I take pretty much the same thing I used to take. I have a peanut butter sandwich, but instead of regular bread and peanut butter, I use gluten-free bread and a natural, no sugar added peanut butter. Then I take a lemon, because I'm obsessed with lemons, an apple, some applesauce with no sugar, and some cashews, which are my favorite. Sometimes I take some deli meat too.
And so that works out pretty well because you don't really have the opportunity to snack throughout the day while you're at school, right? So lunch is kind of pretty much your snacks all in one, right?
Right, and then for dinner I just eat what we all eat.
Right. So in addition to the shakes, we also incorporate Want More Energy, which is a refreshing electrolyte drink, and it doesn't have any caffeine or stimulants.
Right.
And we do that into your breakfast routine. And we do this because as a governor's school student, you're up late doing homework a lot, sometimes until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So this really sort of helps boost your day and get you going. But I want you to talk a little bit about the other Isagenix products that you use.
Well, one that comes in handy a lot is the Isoline bars, which I really like. The chocolate decadence bar is really, really good. And sometimes I'll keep one in my baseball bag so I can eat it before practice, since I often don't get to have a meal or have my shake stuff. And occasionally you sneak the greens into my shakes too.
Right, I do. But you don't really notice because it tastes fine, right?
No, it's cool. It tastes fine. Another thing I do is daily cleansing. Well, when I remember to do it.
Right. And so can you tell everybody what daily cleansing is exactly?
So daily cleansing is when you take a little bit of the Cleanse for Life drink before bed instead of doing a full day cleanse like most people do. And I usually just do 2 ounces of cleanse with 2 ounces of water, and it works out perfect.
But the truth is you often forget, and you're still seeing results, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's really easy to do, and the shakes are actually pretty good, really good. And I can still participate in all my school activities and hang with my friends without feeling like I'm on the secret diet or I'm the weird kid who's on the diet because his mom made him. But now my friends do know, some of them, and it's really no big deal.
Because you don't really have to do it around them. So before we close out the call, I want you to talk to everybody about what things are like now in your life now that you've got Isagenix, and what has it done for your body, what has it done for your cravings, and most importantly, I really want you to talk about what it's done for your confidence level being on Isagenix.
Well, I've only lost about 6 pounds since I started, but I'm down a good 16 inches too. But I've especially noticed a huge difference in my clothes. I'm back into the clothes I had grown out of 6 months ago when the last school year ended. And I just got a new bigger belt at the start of the school year, and I'm almost out of it. It barely fits anymore because I've gone down so many notches. And my shirts are looking really good too. They're baggier, and I'm able to fit into some of my smaller shirts from last year and even as far as a year ago. Oh, and my dress shirt for homecoming looks pretty swagalicious too.
He did look pretty nice for homecoming, and he's not modest at all. What about your cravings, though, and your confidence, because you didn't touch on that yet?
Oh, yeah, so I really don't crave sweets that much anymore. Very occasionally, but nothing major at all. And most of all, I crave Granny Smith apples. Those are the bomb.com. and I also crave Chipotle. But when we get Chipotle, which isn't too often, we always get bowls and brown rice as well. And a week or two ago, I was really sick, and you tried to feed me, but all I wanted was a shake.
Right. I was actually pretty stunned because he just sat there mopey and was like, no, I really just want my shake, Mom. So what about your confidence?
Well, my confidence has definitely improved. I look a lot like everyone else now. I'm not afraid to go out and be myself because I'm, quote, the fat kid or anything. But now I'm working on toning up, especially for baseball. And most of all, I just like that when you look at me now, it's not like, oh, he's the fat kid. I don't have a label like that anymore.
Right. Well, Zach, thank you so much for being my surprise special guest tonight, even though you made me go crazy before the call by being late. I know that this wasn't easy for you. I know it's not easy as a teenager getting out there and talking publicly about this, but I'm really proud of you for sharing your story because I know that it will help other teens have the courage to try it. So thank you, buddy. I love you.
No problem. You're welcome.
All right. So, guys, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for dialing in. We are finishing up right at 30 minutes, trying to respect all of your time. So if you have any questions about these wonderful products, I really encourage you to go back to the person that invited you to the call, and let them help fill in the gaps for you. And if you're interested at all in learning how you can use these products for free or even earn an additional income, I invite you to join us tomorrow night for our business overview call at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, same time as tonight, and you'll also use the same call-in number and access code. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I really hope that you enjoyed my surprise guest. I'm really proud of him, and please do enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you, guys.
Bye.